People know the Avon Theater. It has operated on Broad Street for decades, but the theater recently reopened with a new mission: to bring quality films to the Stamford community.
When I met my husband, he had a lot of interest in community development and projects that would create gathering spots, sort of Main Street America rehabilitation, which is, there's some movement in the preservation world for that. So our interest in film and our interest in preservation and community kind of dovetailed.
I have always been a lover of cinema, both highbrow and lowbrow equally. I love art movies as much as I love a good exploitation film. If you want to argue that technology is creating some sort of physical barrier from having people socialize and interact in the way that they once did, where an individual would actually have a face-to-face in the same room conversation with another person, that's something that we really truly try to facilitate.
I definitely love interacting with the patrons when they come in and they have similar experiences, or like they feel the same way about it as I do, and it's just exciting to see other people as passionate about it as I am.
One of the things that we love about the Avon is that in this ever-changing technological sector in the movie business, where everything is going toward the digital side, we are stalwarts, and though we do use digital projection occasionally, for the cult film nights at least, we are staunch in our decision to continue to show movies in 35mm film, which of course does make it more challenging for us sometimes to find the movies, but that's also part of the fun. Part and parcel with that, and in an effort to give people a real old-fashioned grindhouse movie-going experience, not only do we show the movie in 35mm, but we also preface it with a trailer pre-show, 35mm trailers of films that may or may not actually even be coming soon as part of this ongoing cult classic series. Some of the trailers are just such time capsule pieces of really hilariously bad movies from the 60s, 70s, and 80s that we might never show, but in and of itself provide added entertainment value for the customer coming to the cult classics.
And Roy says that she wants the customers to get more from the movie-going experience, and she hopes the Avon provides it for them.
They can show up 7 days a week, not even knowing the schedule, and see something that will challenge them, change them, make them think, maybe inspire them. Maybe they'll like it, maybe they won't, but it'll be a film of quality. It's always nicer to see a movie in a beautiful cinema with great sound and other people and popcorn. It changes the experience to be in a public space to see a film.
People often tell us that we have the best popcorn in Stamford. We have so many compliments. We make it every day, like fresh every day.
Customers who come to the Avon take away a great old-fashioned experience of enjoying a wonderful film in an historic Main Street movie house and capture a sense of nostalgia for what it was like to go to the movies at a certain point in time when movies were at their peak in the 1930s.
And Royce explains that finding the building was one thing, but there were some obstacles in getting the theater up and running.
The first one was a building in terrible condition. It had been closed for many years. Plaster was falling off the walls. I mean, it was pretty cosmetically in bad shape. There were some infrastructure problems. The actual foundation and structure of the building were all very sound, and the look of the building was iconic, so we retained that. So there were building issues at the beginning, how to fix it all up, and the second big question was how to operate it.
Well, I think of the building, I guess, as an old warhorse, because here we are, it's over 70 years later. The Avon is still standing, despite the cold, often rain, sleet, and snow-afflicted Connecticut winters, years and years of neglect that it went through, either when closed or even when open, when it was not receiving any tender loving care. And yet through all of it, the Avon has managed to sit there in its solid brick foundation and managed to stay alive and physically stay afloat. So I guess, it's that old warhorse kind of building. It's just, the bricks and mortar from buildings that were constructed then. I guess there's also perhaps something almost swan-like about the building if you really look at the nooks and crannies and take into account the Art Deco features and the curves of the building. There are a lot of wonderful curves, whether it's the curved staircase going down, the curved front of the main auditorium, the curved ceiling. It's a very curvy building when you get beyond the very square-looking exterior facade. So those would be the best ways I could describe, and animate the building for you.
I love the murals in the main theater. I love the sweeping lines of the main theater down to the stage. The cinema was built in 1939, so it has a lot of Deco influences, even though it's kind of a colonial look, kind of Nouveau Deco colonial. I don't think that's an architecture term, but it's really a beautiful space.
I tend to like to sit in the back row of movie theaters, unlike some people. So I especially like a couple of seats in particular in each theater. If you ever see me in the main auditorium, it's probably in the back left-hand corner, last seat in the back. I definitely prefer the vantage point of viewing a film from farther back, taking it all in, taking in the entirety of the screen. I've always found that the closer you sit to the screen, the worse one's field of vision is and ability to really absorb everything that the film is presenting. Then there's nobody behind me that could be bothering me. Although I do have to, of course, potentially deal with people, playing with their Blackberries and phones and other devices in front of me, polluting the auditorium with light, which we hate. But there's something about that lower lounge area downstairs in front of the faux fireplace that I find quite charming, where you can sit down in a comfy leather chair. We have all of these great film books that have been donated to us over the years. That's sort of this free library, unmonitored. You can take a book, bring it back, hopefully. You don't bring it back, I guess it's not the end of the world.
I love that it is a community gathering place. We have many people who come to the Avon on a regular basis, and the Avon forms a centerpiece in their lives. They plan what they're doing around what we're offering at the Avon.
Well, we are member-based. A significant portion of our funding and ability to thrive and stay alive is dependent upon the community. There are a variety of membership levels at which people can join, and it is really through membership that the cinema will stay open and thrive in the long run.
The moment I walked into this place, the first time I came, I knew that I had to be involved. It's such an amazing place. Like, it's a beautiful place to see a movie. The programming is awesome. It was everything that I was looking for, and I just felt at home the first time I came in.